It's a little daunting when the music stops and you're supposed to come up to the podium. I liked all the fanfare. Good afternoon. My name is Don Combs. I'm Vice President and Dean of the School of Health Professions at Eastern Virginia Medical School, and I'm glad you could join us today. Wish we could have gotten together on Friday afternoon and skipped some of the ice, but you all have demonstrated one of the key attributes of being a health professional, and that's perseverance. So we're here today to welcome to EVMS the Master of Physician Assistant class of 2020. Please join me in giving them a hand of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. Let the squeaking begin. So if they start squeaking again, that means I've spoken too long. It is delightful to have new students here and to celebrate their beginning of a new career, particularly one that is as important as the physician assistant profession. As you know, the profession is now about 50 years old. It was explicitly created in response to a former shortage of healthcare professionals, much like we're facing today. The opportunities to practice as a physician assistant are enormous. For those of you who are parents in the audience, let me underline, all of our graduates get jobs, well-paying jobs, rewarding careers. That's not true of every profession, but it is of this. Let me tell you just a little bit about this institution and about this program, and then we'll get right to the festivities. Eastern Virginia Medical School grew out of the community. A lot of institutions say that, but in this case, community members worked for over 15 years to raise the money and get the legal authority to create this institution as a community-based medical school that has grown into being a community-oriented academic health center. Now has about 600 medical students, about 800 students in a variety of health professions programs, 21 as of today, and we have about 350 graduate medical students, so that altogether we have almost 2,000 students on campus. They are all in either the medical or health professions. That's all we do, and that's nice. We have a singular focus, and that's healthcare, improving the health of our community in every way that we can, equipping our graduates with the knowledge and skills that they will need over the course of a career that will surely last 40 years and could last 50 or 60 years. Of course, one of the things that we have to instill in our students is the reality that when they graduate in 2020, they're not educated in the sense of a formal, you're done. What you've done is pass the initial entry to the profession, but you literally will have to spend a substantial portion of your working career continuing to be educated because diagnostic capabilities and therapies are being developed and improved all the time, and it is incumbent on you as a professional to be current. And I have no doubt that what is current at the end of your career will be very different than what is current today in 2018. For those of you who are not in this class, you should understand this is a very competitive program. We have between 2,000 and 3,000 applicants every year. Of those, we make relatively few offers to fill 80 slots. So to get from 2,000 or from 3,000 down to 80 is a big deal. That means that those students who are now enrolled at EVMS are the best of the best. It means that they have been successful in the past in academics. It means that they have demonstrated a willingness to give back to the community and to their profession already. And so it really is a great honor to welcome the new class to EVMS, to let you know that you're following about 45 years of prior graduates, many of whom continue to practice in this region, and all of whom are committed to improving the communities where they live. So I want to, on behalf of EVMS, say, 1, we know you're smart. 2, we know you work hard. 3, you'll get to do it some more between now and 2020. The faculty will make sure that you do. The faculty aren't your friends. The faculty are your mentors. The faculty aren't charged to just say how great you are. They're charged to help you understand where you need to improve. And that's really the overwhelming thrust of education, is to be able to honestly assess where you are and where you need to be, and to develop a path to get you where you need to be. I think we have among the best faculty in the country in this program, and I know we have the most dedicated to student success. So as I said when we welcomed you into the program, I guess that was Wednesday, take advantage of the help that is here. You've got medical students, you've got 2 classes of PA students ahead of you, you've got art therapy students, public health students. They're all bright, they're all interested in serving their community, and they can all be helpful to you. So, welcome to EVMS. We're delighted you're here. It is my great pleasure to introduce Kim Dempsey, who is the program director for the Masters of Physician Assistant program at EVMS. I'm sorry about that. We'll see if we can get the microphone to them a little better. Thank you. Kim?
Welcome to Eastern Virginia Medical School, and welcome to the symbolic beginning of your journey to become a physician assistant. It is a great time to be here at EVMS. We have great facilities, a supportive and welcoming administration, and a very talented faculty with an excellent track record for training new successful PAs. The PA profession is young when you compare it to medicine or nursing. On October 6, 1967, the first 3 PA students completed their training at Duke University. This past October, the PA profession marked its 50th anniversary. From that initial program and 3 graduates, your new profession has grown to over 229 PA programs with more than 8,000 graduates a year and over 115,000 PAs certified since that initial class. Last year in the United States, in collaboration with their supervising physicians in virtually every medical specialty, PAs provided care at more than 300 million patient visits. In spite of that, the United States still needs every PA that we can train. An aging population, advances in the care we have to offer, retirement of baby boomer clinicians, and increasing numbers of Americans with health insurance will all be factors in ensuring that each one of you will have excellent opportunities after graduation. In the past several years, each of our graduating students has had at least 1 job offer before graduation. Many of them have had multiple offers. It is a great time to be a PA. Practicing PAs tend to be quite happy with their career choice as well. In surveys conducted by the American Academy of Physician Assistants, nearly 90% of practicing PAs said they would become a PA again if they had to make that career choice. And 95% said that they would recommend this career to their friends or family. Our own alumni survey mirrors these results, with 95% of respondents saying they were very satisfied with their career as a PA. Over the next 28 months, the program will be a challenge for many of you. It may also be a bit of a challenge for your friends and family, as we're going to be keeping you pretty busy. But in May of 2020, you will have earned a rewarding career and a new way of life for yourselves and your families. The ceremony here today celebrates your transition to that new career. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the PA program and welcome you to this wonderful profession. Now I'm very happy to introduce Jason Graham, our Director of Admissions and an Associate Professor and also the Associate Program Director, to the podium to tell us about the significance of the white coat in medicine.
Thank you. I'm going to try to keep these thoughts in order. I have a newborn at home, so I'm a little tired. But I also made some ad-lib comments here on my sheet, so I'm going to try to do the best that I can to keep you engaged as well. But before we get to the final purpose of this ceremony, which is to don you with your white coat, I've been asked to speak about the significance of the short white coat. The white coat has long been a standard symbol of healthcare and medicine. But noting that words have various meanings and different connotations based on their context, I thought it would be helpful to maybe talk about the significance of the white coat by looking at each of those words in reverse order. So let's take the word coat. It's a noun. It means an outer garment that typically has sleeves and covers the body from the shoulders down and is typically worn outdoors. Most of you came in with a coat today because of the weather outside. And this is the obvious and practical definition. In a construction or maybe in a interior design context, a coat of paint is meant to cover something or to change something. In a coat of plaster is meant to hide imperfections and to present a more unified and uniform product. Third, another meaning for the word coat is something that I would include being in a coastal city and in a naval port. It was actually something that was a piece of canvas painted with thick tar, meant to actually wrap around the mast or the bowsprit of a boat and actually prevent water from running down into the hold and to protect the cargo as well. For shipbuilders and sailors, that coat served to protect the internal workings of and the structure and integrity of their ship, along with whatever cargo they were transporting. Now, I doubt many of you are going to take your coat today and go sailing or wrap it around the mast on your car or the front hood of your hood. And I don't think that you are going to expect this to hide any imperfections. I would hope that you would not expect that this coat is going to hide any imperfections, because it won't. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Let's talk about the word white. This is certainly a word laden with a lot of meaning and significance. I didn't know this before researching this, but it's actually the common name for the purest genus of butterflies, in case you didn't know that. It's also in the basic science definition, one of fullness and balance. Something that is white reflects to the eye all the rays of the spectrum combined. It's not tinted with any of the proper colors or any of their mixtures. It's pure. It's the color that the human eye sees when it looks directly at light containing all the wavelengths in the visible spectrum at full brightness and without absorption. In the context of a physical exam, which we'll be teaching you next semester and the third semester, it's something far different. Something that's white may be destitute of color, as in the cheeks that are pale, somebody who's pallid. Or it could mean something even more sinister, somebody white with fear or with anger. In a moral context, the word white can oftentimes indicate purity, free from spot or blemish, free from guilt or pollution. It can mean innocent, and it can mean pure. Most surveys indicate that the color white is often associated with innocence and perfection, good, honesty, cleanliness, the beginning, something new, something light. And in this context, I would say probably innocence is probably the best thing that would correlate with what we're doing here today. To date, you haven't made any gross errors in your medical career, at least as a PA. You're just getting started. It's a beginning. It's something new. This is a brand new chapter in a wonderful journey of your life. The third word is short. In contrast to how you might perceive the length of your education or even this ceremony this evening, it's something that means having little length. It's not long. It's something brief. Doesn't have a lot of extension. It can also suggest having an insufficient amount of something, like below a necessary or desired level. It can mean the sum or substance of a matter. Talk about the gist or give me just the short story, the short of it. And it's the main essence of something. For the British among us, it's actually a small drink of whiskey, which I would not promote as of this point. But at this point in your training, or at this point in the ceremony, I would say that this probably speaks more of your training and your expertise. You're just beginning. You don't have full exposure. You don't have full training yet. You are just beginning this process of becoming a PA. And then the final word is significance. It's the word meaning. What does this mean? It's the message that is intended or expressed, something signified or inferred, the extent to which something matters or its importance. Significance is determined by any person that's looking at an object or communicating, but people can look at the same object and come up with two different perspectives. Significance is a judgment that's made by the perspective of the one considering the object or item in question. And so tonight we could talk about perspectives of this white coat from your professor's perspective, your parents' perspective, siblings, patients. But for time's sake, I'm going to talk about two, and that will be yours and your patients. As a student over the next 28 months, this short white coat will certainly be a practical garment used to hold your instruments, some food and granola bars to get you through a long shift, notes that you might need to make, or resources that you might need to have for your rotations. It will serve to cover not your imperfections, but certainly to cover clothes that are outdated because you don't have time to go shopping or for the latest trends, or maybe even regular laundering. However, one of the things that you don't want to let it do is insulate you or attempt to protect you from your patients or the harsh realities of medicine and the limits of our collective knowledge and understanding of life, death, suffering, pain. First of all, you can never get away from those. It can't insulate you from them, and your patients actually don't want you to either. And considering their perspective of this coat, it's probably their perspective that may be the most important, and I would encourage you to keep in mind. Studies have shown that patients prefer that their treating physician or clinician wear a white coat. They report feeling more confident in them and able to communicate with them better, and even making them feel more approachable. Rather than thinking of this as some veneer or some shield to protect you from the patient, think of it in two terms. One as a key, and the second as a magnifying glass. This coat can open many doors for you. It will not only open physically places in the hospital or in offices where you wouldn't be able to go without it, but it will also open up a significant number of conversations and opportunities for you to interact with your patients each and every day. That is probably one of the biggest and best things about this coat. It also serves as a magnifying glass of some sorts. As I mentioned, it doesn't hide your perfections, and in some cases, it may even magnify them a little bit. Your patients, your colleagues, your supervising clinicians, and even your faculty will get a glimpse into who you are, imperfections and all, over the next 28 months while you're wearing this short white coat. But my hope is that with each time you put on any white coat, whether it be short, like the one you're getting today, or long, like ours, your shoulders will only bear a few pounds of physical weight, but may you quickly be reminded of the many perspectives on this coat's significance, and may your heart be heavy with the sobriety of knowing the weight of your patient's trust and their confidence in you and their dependence upon you for their care. This short white coat certainly carries a lot of significance, and certainly it means just the beginning of your journey and the innocence that it may portray, but you'll notice that we're still wearing white coats. We've got a longer white coat to signify that we've completed our training, but our education continues and our learning will never end. And so until you take this coat off at the end of your career, I encourage you to continue to keep these perspectives in mind. It is my privilege to introduce Jean Cerezo, who is the academic director and also an assistant professor, who will be helping with the next portion of our ceremony tonight, which is the coating. Professor Cerezo.
It is a tradition here at EVMS for our current students, in this case, the class of 2019, to become mentors to an incoming 2020 student. They have been communicating since the fall to ease the transition to the PA program. So it will be the mentors from the class of 2019 who will be helping our new class as they wear their white coats for the first time. Would the first group of mentors please join us on stage? Rachel Anderson. Nicholas Auckland. Courtney Barbaro. Robert Batty. Corbin Bird. Bonnie Blackburn. Graham Bussey. Joshua Cartwright. Ison Castro. Chelsea Kaufman. Stephen Cotnois. Gina Davis. Chelsea Marie Dintruff. And Aaron Donahue. You may now don your white coats. You may now take your seats. Will the next group of mentors join us on stage? Christopher Dono. Marguerite Duplessis. Diana L. Cassis. Jared Fernzler. Gabrielle Gauthier. Angela Gear. Saya Golefshani. Marina Gosha Hauser. Brian Graham. Aaron Gray. Jolie Hinnekamp. Kristen Hofstadt. Daniel Hook. And Mary Hughes. You may now don your white coats. You may now take your seats. Will the next group of mentors please join us on stage? Sarah Jesperson. Yekaterina Jones. John Jurgensen. Catalina Keith. Marissa Knott. Jacqueline Knox. Emily Lachlan. Folk Lee. Rusfer Librado. Tracy Lee. Mallory Matheson. Eva McEwen. David Mecca. And Andrew Myers. You may now don your white coats. take your seats. With the next group of mentors, please join us on stage. Kendra Mingo. Sarah Miner. Ashley Morris. Parker O'Kiley. Megan Oden. Jacqueline Oliver. Laura O'Neill. Michael Osterman. Kayla Ours. Molly Overby. Sydney Pawsey. Lauren Pearson. Andrew Poff. And Abigail Phillips. You may now don your white coats. You may now take your seats. With the next group of mentors, please join us on stage. Catherine Rach. Haley Reed. Melissa Reiser. Evita Rodriguez. Emma Rouse. Jennifer Sanders. Shelby Schaefer. Nicole Scott. Rachel Seiler. Stephanie Sells. Laura Shaw. Samantha Siva. Tracy Smith. And Jordan Snyder. You may now don your white coats. You may now take your seats. With the next group of mentors, please join us on stage. Victoria Sondriel. Christopher Steinbach. Stephanie Sterling. Martha Stoops. Anne Sueda, Janal Tamu, Kristen Taylor, Thomas Tedeschi, Cynthia Uberu, Monica Vu, and Leslie Waller. You may now don your white coats. You may now take your seats. I'd now like to introduce Courtney Anderson, who will lead us in the reading of the Physician Assistant Professional Oath.
Will the class of 2020 please stand and join me in reciting the Physician Assistant Professional Oath, which is found on page 7 of your printed program. We also invite any practicing PAs in the audience to stand and join us in the recitation found in your program. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will actively seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Angela Conrad, Associate Professor and Clinical Director.
Good afternoon. I know everyone is anxious to congratulate their student, so I won't keep you long. I just have a few thoughts that I would like to leave with our newest students. Remember how you feel right now. By the looks on your faces, which is kind of dark, I can't see, but I'm sure you have big smiles on your face. You're happy, you're proud, and excited, and maybe even a little curious about what lies ahead. I want you to remember this feeling, because you should feel that way every time you put on this white coat. You should be happy that you worked so hard to get to this point in your life. Your path to get here may have been direct or not so direct, but each experience that you had on your way here was important. It made you who you are today. Remember all those experiences and value them. You should be proud of what you've accomplished and what you will accomplish. This should inspire you to always do your best, whether it is here while you're in classes, on your clinical rotations in 15 months, or in your practice as a PA. Be proud of what you have done, what you are doing, and what you will do. Your patients will be the ones that benefit from this. and excited. You should be excited. You're about to embark on a journey that will change your life. Don't let this excitement fade. I know things will get stressful over the next 28 months and beyond, but remember how excited you are to learn and practice medicine. Continue to be excited about learning, because as a clinician, learning never ends. Always be curious. Curiosity is what stimulates learning. Remain curious in your classes. Pursue knowledge to satisfy that curiosity. Remain curious about your patients and their afflictions. It will help you to be a better clinician, and your patients will benefit. Congratulations on being here. We're happy to welcome you to the EVMS family. Now, will the class of 2020 please stand and turn toward your family and friends? I'm very proud to introduce to you the EVMS PA class of 2020. Welcome to the PA program and to the profession. In closing, I'd like to thank you all for coming today and for playing a role in this very important special event. Please remain seated as the faculty and representatives recess, followed by the students. We hope that you plan to remain here in the Opera House to join us for the reception. Students with the last names of A through K will meet their family and guests on the second floor, and students with the last names L through Z will meet their family and guests on the first floor. Thank you and have a great evening.